What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with NDub, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. For episode 166, do you have a remarketing funnel? So all my first-time listeners, listen up, take notes, and thank you for joining. I appreciate you. For my worldwide listeners, make sure you take notes too. As you can tell, super short. We'll keep it super short, and we're going to keep it pushing and moving. But thank you for joining the show once again. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for downloading YouTube, or if it's iTunes or SoundCloud, Google, Audible. Thank you. All right. So let's get into this real fast. A remarketing funnel. What is a remarketing funnel? And let me just back up and say what a funnel is. A funnel is basically what marketers call a process, and you can use the AIDA of the awareness, interest, decision. So I've found one that said desire. I'm like, that's not it. It's yeah. Let me just do it correctly so you don't get confused. Awareness, interest, decision, and act. AIDA. You can Google it to check it out. The awareness is basically for you to, and I could have an image, but I don't. It is where you are awareness, building the brand to where you're educating, informing, maybe entertaining. But this is the first process someone goes into, and they kind of bounce around in here till they start getting interested. Well, it's a smaller group of people now, but they're interested and they're getting information. Well, while they're getting information, some people may have analysis paralysis, or some are impulse buy, but they're ready to decide. That's why I'm like, desire what? They're ready to move forward, and they now are talking to you or going through the web or whatever platform sales process that is. When you get to the D part, the decision, that means they're ready to purchase. You just now need to make it seamless for them to act on whatever you promoted them to say, for them to have, right? For them to enjoy, or in a lot of ways, a solution that you can provide to their problem. So in regards to that funnel, we all have one, and they can be from cold, warm prospects to they're a qualified prospect to now we've done a sales pitch, and now you're waiting for them to say, send a proposal, or even forget a proposal. They're ready to move forward, send the invoice. And that's like a B2B. A B2C, it would be they walk in the store, they see the menu, they buy something. If not, they go on to the next one, or they're window shopping. And so that's where having a funnel specifically, say for definitely a B2B, you're talking to someone, you want to close that sale. In order to close that sale, someone may stay in that top of the funnel, what we've talked about, which I've talked about it. Ray and I have talked about it. I think Ken and I have talked about it. When you stay in the top of the funnel, that's not a bad thing. And that's okay for them to be at the top of the funnel. I've had one client that it took them about 4 years before they said, let's move forward. So it's not a bad thing. I've had a friend tell me that it took them 10 years to get a client. It was a 7 or 8 figure contract though. So, makes sense. So what happens though, when someone goes through, they think they're going to buy, and then they decide, it's not the right time. I'm not going to do it. What happens? They have to exit, right? So you have to take them out of that deciding area. If you haven't done so already, you can keep them there. But if you doing a marketing automator, they're going to say unsubscribe. Or if you keep talking to them about the same thing, they're going to give you side eye and they're going to walk away, right? No, you need to take them out of that funnel, and you need to put them in what's called a remarketing funnel. And that remarketing funnel, and this is where someone could be saying oh, how do you do that? Every industry, even within the industry, every company is different in how they go about it. And that just depends on how you want to move, how you want to earn people's trust. For those that have, say, the analysis paralysis, whomping them over the head with more information is not going to do it. For those that may not have the right cash, getting them financing still may not be it. Because I've had folks that say they don't have the money. I find out they do have the money later on and they go with somebody else. So that's not it too. It's not about getting them money or helping them find money. Another thing could be where they are ready to move forward, but then all of a sudden they realize what they thought they wanted is not what they wanted. So they have to pull back, but they said, we'll follow back up with you. And it could have been just you were at the right place at the right time, but they might not use your services. I've had folks like that say, oh, when we get a new website, we're going to use you. They build their own website. Now, all those scenarios have different ways of approaching them in a remarketing funnel. And a remarketing funnel is about you maintaining what we would like to call nurturing the lead. And the way you nurture a lead is going to be different for all. So that's why it's not this long podcast, and it's not going to be, but it's also not something I can give you ABC for 1, 2, 3. That's not how it works. The remarketing funnel, I want to turn you on to the remarketing funnel because for folks that you are easier. It's easier. Not you're easier. It's easier to then go to that person and say, remember we talked about what's are you going to move forward or what? You have that conversation. But for someone you don't know and you don't know where they're at, you got to have something to keep them engaged, keep them to believe that you still are able to solve their problem and you're able to navigate whatever barrier or obstacle that comes their way, because this is where when they've already gone through your main funnel, now you're trying to get them to go through it again. And this could also be where it's a second purchase. If this is a purchase to where they become a subscriber, the one time was good. Like you try that restaurant and he's like, it's all right. Maybe I was just having a bad day. I don't know. Let me try another. Let me try something else. Or maybe it's where they say, hey, do you want to get a rewards card? That means you have to put our phone. No, I don't give up my phone number. What about an email? No, just give me your spam email. No. Right. Or it could be like, well, what's the with them? What's in it for me? So you have to find out what's really important. So at the end of the day, the most important thing for you to do is to ensure you have a remarketing funnel. How I'm talking about what the remarketing funnel looks like is really not as important as for you to have a remarketing funnel. Did you hear me? I know I just said, I know you're focused on, Nathan, tell me how do I nurture my lead? Nurturing your lead is going to come from your strengths of your value proposition and all the benefits. How that's arranged, that's a marketer's job that understands your business. The most important thing for you to have is a remarketing funnel so you don't leave any qualified leads that can convert into customers out there hanging out in the wind because you didn't create another funnel for this segment. The last bit of information I'm going to tell you is have more than one remarketing funnel, because I'm sure you probably have one or more, maybe two or more different segments that you're reaching as well. So if you haven't done so, please do create that. If you need some help with that, hit me up. I'm at info@nwebsterllc.com. Be more than happy to take care of that. That would be bomb diggity, easy, and fun. So hit me up. Find me on indebtbrand.com. Fill it out when you go to contact, the contact page, or send me the email at info@nwebsterllc.com. For my first-time listeners, thank you for tuning into the show. And for my worldwide listeners, thank you again for subscribing. If y'all haven't done so already, because I only got 19 reviews. I need your love. Hook a brother up. And please rate and review the show. If you don't, I still appreciate you listening and supporting and sharing. And I wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed.